German pride. Not something the rest of the world is that comfortable with.
It never works out well, does it?
I don't know. Just that phrase alone makes me think, where is this going? But it's Pride Month, and in the Anglosphere, the usual things happening of stupid companies and governments. But as we went through, there's been a bit of a rebellion of the companies not doing it anymore. But the Germans have done what they've usually done and over-engineered a solution to never having to deal with Pride Month ever again.
I do genuinely... Well, I have to be careful. I do admire on some level the Germans' ability to take everything to its logical conclusion no matter where it leads.
Yeah, wohl, Herr Kommandant. Anyway, so we'll go through this, starting off with parodic something on Lotus.com being Zeev Sternhell's neither left nor right, which goes back to the origins of fascism, which, funnily enough, aren't actually German. They're French.
Yeah, that
people never seem to
that makes sense.
Figure that out.
I mean, every bad idea basically comes from France, doesn't it?
Yeah, as in the Germans are like, what if we go to 1 million? Anyway, but this time round, they managed to do something good. So far, I'm quite impressed. And as you can see here, a lot of this is going to be in German, of course. It's Sturzmonat. Sturzmonat.
What does that mean then?
I don't speak Nazi. Anyway, but it's a joke, of course, to our German followers. But it's Pride Month, and for them, what they've decided to do is instead of having anyone post any rainbows or anything, it's German Pride Month. So it's time to be proud of being German.
Right.
So underneath everything, they're not posting rainbows, they're posting the German flag, or variants of it, until the message is learnt. Damn it.
So I do like that, but does it have to be Germany that does it?
Well, they came up with the idea, so
Right.
they're the ones doing it. I believe
Okay,
it's the
I mean-
Alternative for Germany party, AFD.
Oh, I
who
quite
decided
like
to come
them.
up with this, and
Yeah.
they're very good guys. So let's see
Yeah.
where it went. If you go to the next one here, we can see German pride, Deutschland wide. Goes across, as you can see, the Alps, and I don't know, no swamp Germans in there, but a lot of memes being made. And as you can see in the accounts, what they do is they take their profile pictures, and then in the background put a little German flag, because of course the German flag is not like the US or the British. It's just a series of stripes.
Yes.
3 of them, which is basically what the pride flag is originally as well. In which case, what if we add a few more, as you can see in that design, and just scream German pride instead of your pride, which is cringe, and no one cares or believes.
Like it, though. Yeah.
So, yeah. I mean, German pride Germany-wide, I think, is okay. I think outside of Germany, that's...
Yeah, yeah. When it starts going into Poland and stuff. Yeah.
Anyway, but we've got the Babylon Bee, because the Babylon Bee got a bit worried, as you can see from their representation of where this is based and where it's not based. So, because there are versions of the flag being used, of course, and as they write, Germans are flooding social media with pictures of German flags to troll Pride Month, and I'm laughing, but also a bit concerned, which is, I don't know, understandable. People who speak English.
Are Zoomer Germans based then?
Zoomer Germans.
Because I know millennial Germans aren't, because I spent a bit of time
I'm
in
sorry
Germany.
for my conduct during the war.
Yeah. Seriously, when I went to Germany, like when I was a young man in my sort of 20s, they were genuinely like that. They kept on apologising for the Nazis. Like, it's fine. You weren't even born,
Bro. None of us were born.
Yes.
It's just bants at this point.
Yes.
Like, we remember the lessons, but no. Like, the bants we have between ourselves is the
Yes.
same bants we have about each other's food.
And they were also ridiculously sort of eco-mentalist, which has sort of tripped them up. But I'm just wondering if the Zoomers are better
I
than
don't
German
know.
Zoomers.
I'm not too in touch with German
Yes.
political culture, but I did notice that the AfD did have a very nice youth wing, and also
Yes.
seemed to make a hell of a lot of sense. And the Green Party seems to be dying, which is good. But to be honest, it's way better than being worried about being based or anything. It's sort of this instead, which is you've got the loner, I'm for pride and progressivism, sat in the corner doing nothing, whilst
Yeah.
the people having fun over there are just, chanting Deutschland, Deutschland, but no. But the next one we can see, this is the profile picture thing, which is that, a whole bunch of people decided to do this. I was going to sit here and show you a whole bunch of them, but there were just too damn many. I don't know how big of a thing this is having an impact in German social media, but on Twitter at least it seems to be huge. And it was #1 trending in German language Twitter as well.
This is making me like the Germans.
I'm excited, for sure.
I mean, good breakfasts and also this. Apart from that, they don't know what bacon is.
I don't know, I really like their dinners as well.
Yeah.
Honestly, I'm really missing German food.
Yeah, a bit too much cabbage in the dinners.
I don't have the cabbage, I was thinking just potatoes and meat. Because I know people mock England for like, it's very basic. And it's like, no, but we have high quality meat and high quality
Yes.
vegetables, so it works.
Yes.
And the Germans do too, I feel. But anyway, going to the next one, because as I mentioned, it's #1 trending in German language. You have, Pride Month there, 1 hour ago, and just now at number 3. Which, then there's a whole bunch of...
Do you know what that means?
Who knows? I don't know. Where are the Jews? I don't know.
No!
Sorry. But come on, you Germans. It's one thing we do. But basically, what was happening in the German side of social media over the weekend was this, which if we go to the next one, and we play this clip, I suppose. Let's enjoy.
Fill it in a few different times just to kind of get a real deep color. And kind of go in here at the bottom.
Because indeed, Pride Month is international nationalism as well. We're all invited, boys.
Normally, I'm completely confused by the memes that you show me, but that one, that's quite good.
I think it's pretty clear.
Yes.
And as I mentioned, the AFD approves and seems to be doing well as well.
Yes.
If we scroll down on this, this is...
Did they get banned yet?
No, not quite. But this is polling in Germany, and as you can see, this is over the last 3 years. And you may have noticed that the AFD are now...
Which line of the AFD?
So we're not showing the full graph. We can scroll it to the right because you're not quite... The whole thing isn't on screen, John. I don't know if we can have that happen.
Aspect ratio troubles,
Yeah.
Oh, there we go.
But you need to get all the way to the right. There we are. They're now neck and neck
Oh, that's good, isn't
with
it?
the Socialist Party, who have always been either in government or second biggest party. So the AFD have gone from, struggling post, let's say, 2016,
Oh, right.
with, the woes Europe has gone through. And now they've skyrocketed since July
Yes.
to now the second or third biggest party in Germany, right next to the conservative CDU. So...
German nationalism is rising. Good.
Yeah. And I'm very excited because I really like the AFD.
Yes.
Like, they're very good boys, and all of the slurs and smears they've had over the years of like, don't you know they're Nazi? They're not. Not in the slightest.
Yeah, right. No. Well, that annoys me, you see, because people are saying that National Socialism screwed up Germany, last time, but it was the socialism bit, because it's the socialism that always kills people. Because you can have the socialism bit without the nationalism bit in, like, I don't know, Cambodia or France or China, and they still go around killing people. So with the problem with National Socialism was not the nationalism bit, which they always try and tell you it was the socialism bit.
I agree.
If you have the nationalism bit, you'll be fine. As long as you keep the socialism out of it.
Socialism always ends up in genocide, whereas nationalism typically ends up in closed borders, which, I don't know,
Yes.
Germany kind of needs. I don't know if you noticed, but Mama Merkel didn't leave it in the best of spaces after leaving. But we'll go to the next one, because everyone else in German politics is just crying, and rightly so, because, you've got the communists and leftists, and the Greens who are just communists, so waste of time. And then you've got the Free Democrats over there who are just political prostitutes. I mean, just cry harder.
I like that they instinctively reach for Will Smith as an example of internationally recognised cuckery.
Yeah, I mean, it really is the face of being a cuck. Speaking of cucks, we'll go to Queer Magazine, or at least Queer Germany, who decided to put out this article. The AFD are engaging in culture war. What are they doing? They're saying Pride Month is for Germany, not for queers.
Imagine that.
Oh, very sad, very sad. If you scroll down on this, because they have some posts in here. One from the AFD, which is the first one you're going to get to in the text there, in which the AFD are just like, good idea. Maybe it is Pride Month. Deutsche Pride Month. Which, I mean, optically, it's just brilliant. Like, I just absolutely love it. Like, the biggest party in Germany, well, second biggest, is sitting there just being like, yeah, German pride.
Oh, I'm sat here getting German envy now, because why can't we have a party like this?
Exactly. I mean, this is what's so beautiful. I mean, the AFD are genuinely sincere and competent and good guys by the looks of it. So I'm really excited that they're also willing to sit there and be like, yeah, no, let's engage in good things instead of being gay communists like our conservatives for some goddamn reason. So if we scroll down on this more, we can see the left who decided to put out a post whining about it. They're like, they're trying to get rid of the gays. We're like, nope, no one cares about that. You don't care about that. Which is why you've been saying gay people need to start, having sex with vaginas. Otherwise, you're transphobic. You don't care about the gays. You never did. You're literally just using them as a ploy to try and gain political power by bashing people with the label homophobic if they didn't agree to whatever you said, which is usually just more socialism.
Yes.
If you don't like socialism, you're homophobic. So instead, no one seems to be listening to the leftists because, as noted, the AFD just keep getting higher and higher, and you can see the AFD's messaging. essentially through here. We're just like, yeah, LGB, Deutschland, Deutschland über alles. TQ plus, no, leave.
I'm pretty sure the AFD's message would resonate with about 60% of the population. The only reason it's 18% is because you've got so many people who get all of their news and mainstream media who have been told that they're a bunch of Nazis and they've never actually stopped and listened to anything they say.
People who vote CDU, I mean, like, people who are old don't really listen. Like, oh, things are happening, I want stability. It's like, no, guys.
How to describe the average CDU voter? I mean, people with very low neuroplasticity is essentially it.
Careerists.
Yes.
Crypto leftists. Mama Merkel types.
Yes.
I mean, like, these people, not going to lead Germany to a bright future, whereas the AfD, I think, might. Anyway, moving on, though, because, as saying, very specific. You can see in the German press as well, they also have the SPD and the AfD fighting over this, which pretty funny. I mean, I just love how the people competing for second place in German politics are fighting about whether or not Pride Month is about, trans kids or German pride. I mean, I'm sorry, but their dialectic about what Pride Month means, I think, is going a bit further than ours, and I kind of prefer it.
When you put it about like that, about what the nature of the political discourse is, it makes you realise that we really are in the ashes of civilization at this point.
But at least one side is offering something that's useful, which is, you know, maybe we should have some pride in our country. We don't really have a holiday for it, except like once a year, maybe. There's one day in your calendar. You say something. I don't know in Germany. But over here, we've got St. George's Day, but the establishment do everything they can to crush it.
Oh, yeah.
In which case, there's this whole month that's just sitting there in the public consciousness that seems to have lost its relevance. And no one's doing anything with it.
And I quite like that, actually, because the whole thing with the sort of leftist agenda is it sort of worms its way in and co-ops stuff. So, actually, yeah, why can't we do that with Pride Month?
Let's be having it, boys!
Because it does say Pride Month, doesn't it? It doesn't say coming month, which is like my thing in the previous segment.
It's not got cummies written everywhere.
Yes.
Instead, it's got Germany written everywhere, which is much better. So,
well done, Germany.
I want to join in. So we'll go to the next one here because there's some other stuff out of this. You can see, just woke Twitter versus Pride Month Twitter. We're just having too much fun. There's also the German company. So this is what to do, how to join in and how to make this campaign, which is Siemens, for example, over here. Not Siemens.
No, different segment now.
No. They decided to put up, as you can see there, their pride flag with the trans colours and the black and brown stripes for dead people with AIDS and... Gosh. And then they've written some German words, so, who cares? But you don't need to read German to know what that says. It's just like, oh, we agree with the current thing.
Yes.
Oh, do you? That's very, very un-German of you. Anyway. But if you scroll down to the responses, you may have noticed that basically everyone in the German responses, I joined in with the German flag, but if you just keep scrolling, you can see there's a whole bunch of Germans calling them weird names. And then they just started re-photoshopping it with the Siemens flag with the German flag, or just posting Pride Month with the German flag, etc., etc. They're just like, you can't change the sex. Little British biologist there. But that's the rebellion, which is you take any company that's talking about pride and you go, thank you, Pride Month to you too, and then you post your national flag or a photoshopped copy of their company logo until they get the damn message.
Start doing this.
Siemens or Saudi Arabia. No, not interested. Speaking of which, we've got a McDonald's, because McDonald's Deutschland were the only McDonald's to engage in this for some reason. And if we scroll down on them as well, they just have loads of German accounts being like, Deutschland, über Pride Month. So, there you are. And the question really is, are you sure you want pride? Are you absolutely sure that you want pride, my friends?
Yes.
Because, it's not staying with you. Instead, it's going to nationalism. If you go to the next link here, just pride everywhere. Join us. Anyway, so this is also probably the natural progression of Pride Month in the end. So I think the Germans have, again, taken it to the absolute, as they usually do. But, they haven't...
They did it right this time.
Yeah, they haven't cocked up all of Europe. So,
yes.
So instead, they're improving it. This is just some animation.
Bravo.
You can see there, in which you have the original pride flag, who gets eaten by the trans pride flag, who gets eaten by the next pride flag, and so on and so forth, as people cannibalize each other. And then as they stand aloft thinking they're in power, Deutschland comes out of nowhere.
If you're listening to this, you ought to go and watch that one. That is quite good.
You are missing out.
I'll retweet that one if I can find it.
If we go to the next one, we can see there's actually a video as well, where someone's put together just German pride stuff.
Right.
I suppose.
Okay.
And they've used Rammstein's Deutschland music.
Oh, I like Rammstein as well.
You know the Deutschland song?
breakfasts, nightclubs, Rammstein, and now Pride Month. Those are the four things I like from Germany.
I always go to Germany for Pride Month. Why do you ask? I go for the nationalism. But yeah, they just have a whole bunch of stuff here. Obviously, not too clued up on all the cultural references, but, you know.
Actually, where is Rammstein? Is he? Because everyone else in media, in sort of entertainment, is woke. Is he woke or is he all right? I don't know.
I don't know. I mean, their stuff is strange,
Yes.
I suppose, because they're actually nuanced, at least in the Deutschland video that they did.
Right.
If people haven't watched it, it's a song called Deutschland. They did a really good job, I think, of summarizing Germany. The only weird thing on there, obviously, is the person who personifies Germany in the music video is a black woman for no given reason.
Right.
And so when people try and rationalize that, they're just like, okay, obviously you didn't want to be called Nazis because German nationalism is always just called Nazis. So you just made a black woman Germany in the video.
It's the socialism,
Yeah.
not the nationalism.
But anyway, Pride Month. We'll go to the goal, because there is a goal in this as well. This is the goal. When Pride Month comes around and all German companies are not putting up rainbows, but instead the German flag in their logos, that's when we won, boys. That's the end of Pride Month. We're not just doing this for no reason. It's not just doing this because, oh, it's a bit of fun. We have a goal in mind, and the goal is you will celebrate Pride with us, company, brand, and this is what you're going to do. So, every 3 months or so, in the UK, for example, we get this. You know, someone tweets something about Hovis bread having a flag on it. You never see this every couple of months?
I mean, that's the sort of thing that I would probably wouldn't even notice. I make my own bread, but I mean, even if I walk past it, I think I'd not notice that.
Yeah. I'm not sponsored by Hovis, but I would say that Hovis bread is probably the standard bread for the British. But every 3 months, you get some crap like this, for example. If you don't believe me, take a look.
So this is a guy tweeting, as a customer, I do not want flags on my groceries. So that because somebody's put a British flag on a pack of strawberries. To be fair, I think he's got a point. I'm not wild about the flag myself. I think that an image of a red coat bayoneting a Zulu would serve just as well, or maybe a 48 gunner sinking a French frigate. I mean,
I would
either
agree.
of those would suffice instead of a flag.
The point is national aesthetics.
Yes.
If you're going to sell me something, especially if you're going to, you know, be like, oh, this is British such and such, national aesthetics need to be there. And that's the point in which we know we live in a better country. And being in a lot of countries, things like that do make you appreciate the place. They make it more wholesome. They make the place nicer.
And like whenever I travel and I see other cultures being proud of their own nation, it doesn't offend me in the slightest. It's
Love
like,
it.
This is why I've come here to see this. Otherwise, I would have just stayed at home, wouldn't I?
Love it, love it, love it.
Yes, and especially for immigrants as well, because if you immigrate to a country, presumably you like it. I mean, maybe you're just coming for the benefits, but in which case, well, screw you then. But if you're moving because you genuinely like the country, you're not going to be offended by that either.
I mean, it depends who you're inviting, obviously, as
Yes.
we mentioned.
Yes.
Mama Merkel's boys, really
Not them.
improving Germany. Anyway, international support. So the international brigades of Pride Month, as you can see here, they've already started recruiting voluntarily this time. As you can see here, this is the Americans, for example, have started doing this. This is just a random lady that decided to use
Good. Well done, Kerry.
demonstrate it. The Dutch have also gotten in on this. You can see here we have Eva.
She's lovely.
Joining in?
She is.
She also, there is an imperial version for all the imperialistic nations of Europe.
It's a shame being Dutch that her flag looks like it could be from the Pride flag anyway, because you kind of have to look twice.
That's kind of the comic genius.
Yes.
Because, of course, for the Europeans, all their flags are kind of just stripes. And then
Yes.
that works, if we want to use it. But as you can see, there is an imperial version as well,
Ooh.
because the imperial pride flag has now been replaced with the imperial flags of our nations.
Do we have an imperial one?
I don't think, we'll get to that in a minute.
Ooh,
I'll
okay.
explain why.
Right.
The Albanians also have their own version because, okay, I mean, I don't think they need help with their pride. So you can't meet an Albanian without them talking about Albanian flags or flying Albanian flags. It's like the least nationalistic Turk. Turns
Yes.
up in his car covered in Turkish flags. Anyway, speaking of which, go to the next one. I'm in. There we are. There's the British flag that you can add on to put in your profile because I like fun. So let's do it.
Yep, I'm doing that.
And international nationalism will bring us victory, boys. And I think every month, until we start seeing every company on Pride Month using national flags of the country they're actually associated with,
Yes.
instead of, rainbows, I think we could improve society. I think this would make society better if this happened instead of what is currently happening.
This is
So,
superb.
Why not do it?
This is subversion. This is subverting the subverted.
So if we go to the last one here, the Pride Generator.
Ooh.
So I don't know if I suppose you can click on that link so people can have a look, as that person's pointing out there, which is you put in your profile, does the thing for you, and there's a flag selection, which they've done. And you can also get an imperial flag of each country. Now, they haven't quite made an English one yet, or a British
Right.
one, so that just hasn't got round to yet, although I'm sure they're
Yes.
working hard on it. The S-posters of Germany
Yes.
work day and night. Finish
Oh,
work and go home, do a fuck. Anyway. But that's German pride, which... Okay, lads. You did the big think, and you did a good think. and let's see where it goes,
I
because
like
so
it.
far I'm impressed. And the idea of what does victory look like in this regard, of having all the companies start using national flags instead of the rainbow one, that would be a better society to live in.
Yes.
Yeah, let's try and push for it. Why not? If you appreciated that segment from the podcast The Lotus Eaters, you can go to lotuseaters.com to get access to all the premium contents on the site, such as the book clubs, this one on the Revolt Against the Modern World by Julius Evola. If you'd like to find out what's being put out, you can follow on Getter at lotuseaters_com on Getter. Thank you, and goodbye.